Hello and a very, very warm welcome to you. My name is Anne-Marie. If you've not joined me before, if you have, welcome back. It's great to have you here with me. So just to remind you, all the normal stuff, the class will take place on a mat. We'll use something like a head cushion, head block, like a yoga block, or whatever. Something for underneath your head potentially for later if you normally do use one of those. If you need to take any water on board at any time, just grab that, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to have a really, really nice, calm, relaxing hour together. I am absolutely delighted you are joining me again for another hour of Pilates fun. So, safety first though, if you can just make sure everything you do feels comfortable for you. I'm going to try and give you lots of options, lots of alternatives, make it easier, make it harder. Listen to your body. Okay, I really want you to feel good, I want you to feel well, I want the end of this class you to feel that much more energised, well stretched and just really comfy, even better than you usually do. So let's work on all of those good things. Okay, we're just going to start with a couple of nice big deep breaths. Firstly, to let people get involved, get all set up, and secondly, just to relax, because it's been a very, very strange week. We're getting used to strange weeks, but it's been another very, very strange week. So let's just give ourselves this hour. Okay, so starting from a neutral position, I will build up the position later, but let's just breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath there. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Hold there. 2, 3. Okay, with me. And in. 2, 3, 4. Hold there. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3. Just a couple more with me. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold there. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Hold there. 2, 3. Last time. In. And hold. Breathe out and hold. Wonderful. I hope that's started just to bring you, center you, bring you into the class, bring you into that calmness that I really want to enjoy with you for the next hour. Okay, so let's get ourselves really well aligned. Starting with the feet directly underneath the hips, just spread those toes. Just spread, really stretch, really stretch. Give them a little wiggle, give them a wiggle. Okay, and we're just going to rock forwards and rocking back. So stretching out, you may be just warming up the ankles a little bit, warming up the feet as we get a little bit of movement into the bottom of our bodies. Wonderful, and from here, we're just going to go side to side, in and out. So you're just rolling the ankles, if that's comfy. If it's not comfy, that's okay. You don't need to put the feet directly underneath the hips, as they always are. And if it's comfy for you to do so, I'll keep them pointing forwards. Okay, and hold that there. So they're nice and settled, a little bit stretched out, nice and comfy. Moving up, knees are soft, moving up to the hips. Just imagine that bowl of water in your pelvis. So it's ready to tuck under, and the bowl flops forward, the water can come out at the front, so you're rolling under and over. That pelvis is rolling through the movement. Fantastic. Getting that movement into the lower back. So especially if you have had quite a static day or maybe an uncomfy day, maybe you've been standing a lot during the day. There's a lot of different things I think we all do. We come together for this hour in the evening, but we have very, very different days, I'm sure. Okay, and release and relax that there. So it comes to settling that neutral, slight curve at the lower spine. So pulling up, just imagine, bottom of your spine tugging down, you've got a string going all the way up to the top and pulling and stretching so your spine is long, you've got natural curves, but you're really opening out the front of the body, opening out, pulling those shoulder blades back so the chest is open, the rib cage directly under the hips, and actually let's roll those shoulders. Get that movement through the neck, through the shoulders, easing the shoulder blades down the back, working through that full rotation of the shoulder joint. Lovely, 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 lovely. Let's ease those shoulder blades down the back. So when they come down, allow the hands to open at the front. And you've got this open stance, a little stretch across the front of the chest, a little squeeze together with the shoulder blades behind. The head is directly over the spine, so you've got a nice gap between the chin and the chest, chin looking forward, looking straight forward if you can. I guess you're probably looking at your screen. That's okay, have it in front of you, perfect. And we're just standing tall and open and nice and relaxed and neutral. Fantastic. Let's go for that full and wide Pilates thoracic breathing. So as you breathe in, feel the ribs open and breathe it out. I always do like to have my fingertips on my ribs, just to help remind me that it's opening that rib cage up as we go. Breathing in full and wide, out and closed. Wonderful. And tonight we're going to remember our core through imagining that hips to belt. So tonight imagine a belt around your hips of 10 notches on your belt. On your next full and wide breath in, breathe in, tighten to that 10th notch. So you're going to feel this easing together, curling around. If you have your fingertips in kind of the crease of your hip joints, you might feel tension just underneath there, but it's hard to hold. It's hard to breathe through, so release. Release. When we're on that 100% contraction, that's hard. So next time we're going for that 50% contraction, the 5th notch on the belt, breathe in, take it up to the 5th notch, and just hold. Okay, we can hold this for a little bit longer, it's okay. It's firmer than we need to hold for a long time though, so let's release. Okay, and on our next full and wide breath in, breathe in, hold at that 30%. So you've got that gentle contraction, it's still there, it's still going, you can still feel a tiny bit of tension, but you can talk through it, you can breathe through it, you can work through it. So we've got neutral, we've got our full and wide breathing, we've got alignment, the core is switched on, we are ready to go. So let's really start to warm up the body. So to start with, we're going to do a move I call arm up and look away. So you take your arm up in front, one arm up, turn that palm away from the body, look in the opposite direction, and you're going to sweep it down. So you're stretching out, stretching the arm, stretching the shoulder, looking back to the centre when you're ready. Other arm up. Take that palm away, head away, sweep it down. And if you wish to, you can make this a little bit more continuous. So arm up, sweep away. When you're ready, arm up, and sweep away. And really, you might want to stretch out those fingers as you go. So you're really paddling as though you're almost pushing, pushing, pushing down. The shoulder blades remain eased down the back, so you don't need to scrunch up at the shoulder, draw it down. Sweeping, so it's still controlled and smooth, but you're getting a really nice stretch, warming up that shoulder joint, warming up through the hands. You can wave those fingers a bit if you like. Fantastic. And we will just even up there. Next move, we're going to do a bow and arrow move. So taking both arms in front of the body, still from our neutral position, just draw the shoulder blades down, and when you're ready, pull one arm back so the elbow goes behind, the upper body will twist gently, let the arm reach behind and then sweep it down. And this is the exciting bit where I figure out if I'm actually in the right position in the room or if I'm going to hit something. I'm pretty good. So, got a winner. Sweep it down. So what you're thinking about is opening, stretching out through the chest, getting a nice twist in the upper part of the back. Lovely. And really pull it back, stretch behind. Fantastic. Again, it's that sweeping sensation, isn't it? With that arm up, sweeping away, and now we're sweeping down and round. Lovely. Just evening up there. Okay, last one. Now we're going to take the feet just a little bit wider apart. We're going to do screwing in the light bulb. So we're going to start palm facing the front. You're going to take the palm up and you're going to twist. So the little finger comes down and round, and then bringing it back. So we're getting some rotation and twist. And we're allowing the body to move with it. So the hips are going round. The opposite foot is coming off the ground. You're twisting a lovely stretch down the side. Okay, twist. So it's though you are screwing a light bulb into the top corner of your room. And a nice big movement. Lovely. And just hold this one here. Hold it up. Really feel the stretch all the way up to your hand, down the side of your body and down the side of your leg, and ease that leg down. Ease down the heel. Oh, feel that stretch. You can really breathe through this side of the rib cage. Fantastic. And release. Don't go floppy. Give it a little shake. Oh, get some movement back. Wonderful. If you need to open and close out the arms, the shoulders. Fantastic. Let's do the other side. So again, we're starting palm forwards. Feet a little bit wider. Taking the fingertip up and across. Up and across. Really reaching up and across. Fantastic. So you're getting that twist. And the twist is bringing the rest of your body around with it. That little finger is leading the whole move. Oh, fantastic. And you can still keep the shoulder blade down. You're still able to draw that shoulder down even as we're going up and across. So let's hold it up there. Hold it up, hold it up. Let the heel come down. Heel eases down. You can let the gaze drop down to the floor. Feeling the stretch down the side. Breathing through this rib cage at the front. And the stretch all the way down. And release it. Okay, give it a shake. Give it a shake. Get a bit of movement back. Wonderful. Okie dokie. Right, next move. We're going to do a little bit of arcing. So arcing. Looking at it from the side, it's a bit easier to see from the side. So starting in our neutral position, knees are soft, shoulder blades drawn down, looking forwards. From here, you've got your full and wide breathing, your core is contracted, all is going well. Breathe in, engage the core. As you breathe out, tilt the chin, and we're just going to slump forwards. And it's just that upper back, we're just slumping. And you're going to open out, and maybe if you'd like to go up onto your toes. And then coming back down and slumping as you breathe out. Breathe in to open up, look up. Oh, I'm wobbly. Wobbly. Oh. And breathe out. In and out. So moving at your breathing, moving at your pace. And it's okay to wobble. I hope so, because I'm doing it. Oh. Just really, it's almost opening and closing that shoulders and the chest. And I don't know if you can see, my hands are really rotating as I'm going. So at the front of the move, the shoulders slump around, the back is actually getting a nice stretch. At the top of the move, the chest is open, you're looking up. The hands point out wide. Wonderful. Oh, lovely. And from here, going back through neutral, we'll just do a bit of rolling down, rolling up to really get the whole spine involved. So from here, tilt the chin, start that spine peeling down. So it's as though you're coming off a wall. And do you know what, if it helps you at home, right, go find a wall and actually peel off it and get that sensation. See how that feels for you. And coming back up, you don't have to go all the way down on the first one. But if you want to, like I say, find a wall, find a door, get that neutral, and actually peel off. We don't often get a chance to do this. Now the danger is, as you do this, you're going to fall forwards. Because your centre of gravity goes past the end of your toes. But it's that sensation at the start of the move that you've got that peeling. Okay, so you've had the safety warning, please don't headbutt the floor. Okay, but it's that sensation. slowly going up, going down. I mean, maybe that's a challenge. Maybe you could try it actually doing it against the wall. I'm pretty sure you'll fall over. Could be a party trick though if you could do it. There we go. Easing down, easing down. Slowly getting down towards the bottom of your movement. And if it's tight on the hamstrings, by all means, bend at the knees. Okay, so going down. And wherever the bottom of your movement is, it's going to be different for everyone. Bottom of your movement, maybe your fingertips, but your shins. They may get down to your toes, they may get flat on the floor. Just hanging out in that low position. Let the head drop down. Feel the weight of the shoulders and the head just ease you down. And you might find as you hang there, you can just go that little smidge more, little smidge more. As I said, if you need to, you can bend gently at the knees, loosen the stretch in the hamstrings. And peeling back up, peeling back up. Lovely, so we're placing those vertebrae all the way back up to the top. Let's get a bit of side flexion in our spine now. So we're just going to gently elbow to shoulder, elbow, oh, that's not your elbow, your ear to your shoulder. Don't try and get your elbow to your shoulder, that'd be really tricky. And taking the shoulders down. Again, maybe that's a party trick. Elbow to shoulder. That could be tricky. But gently going slowly, slowly lower down. Feels like I've had a long day. Words not coming out right today, are they? It's all good. It's all good. And really reaching down the side of the body. Fingertips easing down, maybe past the knee, maybe at the knee. You're just easing down, easing down. Nice and smooth and controlled and comfy. And getting that flexion all the way through the spine. So just do a really slow one where it's shoulder, and then the next bit, and then the next bit, and then the next bit, and then the next bit. So you feel actually that your whole of your spine, a bit like when we're rolling forwards, you feel each part of the spine going at a different time. Nice. Okay. All right, now let's do some hula hoop hips. So feet nice and wide, and we are just going to roll the hips around. Oh gosh, that feels good. So nice big circles, really pushing the hips all the way round, all the way round, and the opposite direction. Lovely. But it's a big move. You can keep the knees nice and soft, but the aim is to work through the entire kind of circle you're drawing as though those hips are stirring a big bowl of porridge. It's a really nice, big, controlled movement. Okay, lovely. Coming back to neutral. Just going to finish warming up knees, toes and ankles. So we're just going to do some little kicks forwards. So just some little kicks. Now if you want to, at the end of the kick, you can do a little flex and point. Okay, a little flex and point. Okay, we're just aiming to warm up. This isn't the balance, by the way. That's still to come. Don't panic. Even better. Okay. Lovely. Right. We should be feeling nice and warm and mobile and ready to go. Okay, which means it's time to do a balance. Woo! Woo! I need a little whoop whoop. Okay. Oh dear. So tonight we've got two balances as always. We're going to start with some tree pose. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to do this. If you want to get near to a wall, near to a chair, anything like that, by all means do so. I would obviously have a crack without. Let's see how we get on. So to start with, if you want to keep your toe down, just come up so that your kind of standing knee is still soft. You've still got that neutral position, shoulder blade still down. All these good things. And you're just going to take it out and in, aiming to keep these hips pointing forwards. And if this is feeling good, by all means, start to bring the foot further up the standing leg. Now I don't know about you, but I can feel this standing leg having a good old wobble. But by wobbling, it's keeping me upright, so that's good. I'm quite happy with that. It's working hard, still trying to keep those hips pointing forwards. Now you might be able to get really nice and high. Maybe you've got really nice strength in your hip flexors to hold this leg up. Opening out. These abductors just drawing around the glute medius. Lovely. And squeeze and release. And squeeze and release. And we're going to hold it out to the side. Now again, here's your choice. It can be low. It can be kind of maybe on the calf. I probably wouldn't go right on the joint. Probably not the best for your knees. If you want to take it higher, I can never get my leg to stick here, so I like to hold it with my hand. But just holding this position. Now you've got options with your hands as well. So if you have managed to just hold your foot in place, fantastic. You might want to try it with your arm wide. Okay, you're at home, you're probably on your own. Have a play, have a bit of fun. Don't hurt yourself, don't crack your head on the coffee table. Those are my top tips. Okay, you can have it nice and high. You can have it on your waist. You can keep it low. I don't mind. Have a play. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whee! Awesome. Ooh. Get a bit of movement, bit of blood, bit of movement. Right. So I've tried to improve my technology today. I'll chat with you while we're doing this side. It's all the same stuff. So I've invested in a clock. This is exciting. Last time I had a clock on my other phone that beeped away, so apologies about that. We've now got a non-beeping clock, so upgrading all the time. And also, I'm hoping the music doesn't stop in the middle. I've had my very techno-savvy 9-year-old help me set up for the day, so that's all good. So I'm hoping all the angles on the camera are looking like you can see me. The lighting, all those bits and bobs. Everyone needs a 9-year-old to help, I find. So just keeping those hips pointing forwards. Try and stare at something stationary in front of you. So chances are not your screen, because you'll see me wobbling around. So maybe a light bulb, if you've got any wall lights, maybe a picture, maybe a door handle, anything like that. Okay, should we try and find that stationary position? Right, I'm going to try and again get my foot a little bit higher and hold it there. Maybe this time take the arm wide. Again, mix it up. You might find it easier, you might find it harder this side. It's always a bit of a challenge on your harder side. Ooh, take the arm high. Still wobbling around. That standing knee still soft. This is great. Well done. Keep trying. Keep trying. Don't give up now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey! Hey! Awesome! Right, our next balance actually is quite a lot of strength as well. But I've got you, I've got faith in you, we're going to be awesome. I'm going to do a bit of lunging, so just let me set you up with a really nice lunge. If you're not used to lunging, let me set you up at the start. If you come down onto one knee, if that's comfortable for you, or chuck your cushion under if it's a little bit unpleasant, or otherwise you don't have to lunge, okay, the world will not end. If you don't want to lunge, you can just take a nice big step back. But if you're happy with a lunge, 90 degrees at this knee, 90 degrees at that knee. From here, if you can, which is to raise up maybe 1 inch, 2 inches. If you get these arms in prayer position, this is basically where we're at with our balance. I'm just going to encourage you to twist the upper body. So the lower body, kind of waist-ish downwards, isn't really moving. We're not going to do many of these. It's hard on the legs. I can feel that back quad. I can feel this front quad. Press down that front heel. Engage the glute on the front leg. So this is strength and balance. Again, I'm wobbling. It's all good. So we'll just do a couple more. You still good? Can you go down 1 inch? That's one. Right, come out of it, come out of it. Get the blood flowing. I bet you felt that one. I think we all did, didn't we? It's a good one, good one. Right, now I've got to do this right so that I don't do the same leg again. That's always the problem. I think this is what I need to do. If I face the other way, I'm hoping it'll just work. So let's set up again, 90 degrees, so knees directly over the ankles. Here, knee directly under the hips, okay? And this can be quite handy if you happen to be kind of near a mirror or something. Ta-da! If you happen to be near a mirror, have a look in the mirror and just see if you've got that 90 degrees really well. And if you looked at your feet on the floor, they kind of try and track distance apart. So I'm not trying to line up, you really will wobble, but they kind of hip distance the direction. And both feet are pointing forwards, so I'm not turning that back foot when I get up. Okay. Right, we're good. You've had a little time for a breather. When you're ready, let's just go up an inch, 2 inches. Get into that pro position if you can, if you'd like to. I'm going to do some twisting. If you want to extend the work on the shoulders, you can extend it wide. But by all means, stay with this prayer position. So the sternum, the breastbone, is following the hands. The hips are staying where they are. So the lower body, apart from a bit wobbly, should be pretty stationary. All the work you are doing, press into that front heel, front heel, front heel. Engage the glute, wonderful. Just a couple more. You can do it. Hey, yeah. Ooh, give it a rub, give it a pat, awesome. Let's have a little stretch in those quads, see this video. This is not supposed to be part of the balance. You can balance if you want to, you can grab onto a wall if you want to. I just think these need a little stretch while we're here. So push those knees together, push the hips forward. So from the side, you're pushing the kind of foot lace part of the foot in towards the hand and pushing the hips forward. So you're almost like making yourself into a little bow, like a bow and arrow bow. You're getting some tension here. The knees are together, standing up nice and tall, shoulder blades still down the back. Oh, that feels nice, doesn't it? It's good. Right, switch sides. If you do struggle to get your foot all the way up, to get into that position, if you've got trousers on, you can grab onto the back, maybe you grab onto the shin, whatever works for you, and it might work just to hold a little bit lower. But if you can, this is a great position to try and go for. Awesome. Wonderful, 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 and release, relax. Okay, we're going to come down onto our mats. You know I do like to do that with a bit of rolling down, just to make double sure we're all good to go. So, coming to the toe end of your mat, don't headbutt anything like a wall, that would be bad. Okay, standing up tall, drop the chin. My core was contracted already, awesome. And just rolling down, getting down to the bottom of your position. Just holding there for a couple of breaths. And from here, if it's comfy, bend at the knees. I just want you to get down to your mats, however is comfy for you. So coming down onto your back. Now, this move, we're going to start with the single leg circles. So, if you normally have something like a pad or a cushion underneath your head when you're lying on your back, by all means, use them. I don't tend to need them, so I won't have mine there, but it's just that reminder, if that helps you keep a really nice, comfortable position for your neck and upper part of your spine. Let's start with our alignments. So start with your feet together, heels out, toes out, so like a Charlie Chaplin on your feet. Your ankles, knees and hips should be aligned as though they're on train tracks. From here, we're just going to rock through the pelvis. So easing that back up towards the ceiling, easing it down towards the floor. Imagine that pencil on the front of your hips. You're drawing the line on the ceiling. So above me, I don't think you can see it in the shot, but I've got two lights in a line. So I'm trying to draw over both of them. Fantastic. And just coming to that neutral position. We've got that small arch into the lower back, easing the spine nice and long. Remember that string drawing the bottom of the tailbone, top of the head. Spine is long, so your body is touching the floor, kind of behind your hips, behind your rib cage, and kind of behind at kind of the back of the middle of your shoulder blades and your head. Wonderful. The ribs are relaxed. I just want your body to be kind of heavy. Heavy. Let the hands flop up towards the ceiling, chin pointing up towards the ceiling. When you're ready, Breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, float one knee up. And from here, I just want you to draw small circles. So imagine that knee is a spoon in a bowl of porridge. Now I will guesstimate and say, maybe do 5 in each direction before you change direction. So you'll periodically be changing. The number is not critical. It's just a kind of ballpark, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever suits you. I want these hips to remain really level onto the floor. Okay, so they're not rocking all over the place. This is the point, you're controlling this. You're controlling the gap under your spine and you're controlling that hip position. If this is feeling really comfy and you'd like to take it up a level, by all means, imagine you are lifting the leg that is still down. So you've drawn that core, if you feel the strength in the core, it says, I'm just going to slip that paper underneath. If that still feels nice and you'd like to try it, you can lift that other leg. So you're going from tabletop, so I've got one moving leg and one stationary leg. And I'm periodically changing direction. I'm probably not doing 5, knowing me. Probably doing some random number, but that's fine too. I'm doing my best. And it's just that slow, controlled stirring, maintaining the hips in contact with the floor as evenly as you can, maintaining the gap underneath the back. If you wish to, you can also draw the arms over the shoulders. Allow those shoulder blades still to be held down towards the back pockets. So try and keep this leg stationary. If it helps, you can just have a hand on it. Just to try and give you that little bit of tactile feedback, that touching. You can keep those arms up. And when you're ready, you're just going to stop it there. Take one leg down, take the other leg down, and relax. Okay, and just have a little break for this leg. Just bring that knee in towards the chest, extend the opposite leg away. So this move is quite a tricky one because you've got the strength in the hip flexors, but you've also got the strength in the core, trying to stop that kind of shaking of the hips. You'll notice if you do one or two where you're not really holding the core properly and holding the lower part of your body properly, you'll be waving those hips, will be kind of rocking side to side. So it's all about holding that position. And breathing. Okay, getting back to neutral. So a little check on the pelvis. Okay, we're good. We're all good. Follow my breathing. Okay, breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, lift that opposite knee up. And start with the circles. So again, just control the weight of the pelvis on the back. So it's even on the floor, remembering to change directions. And the foot is floppy and the calf is floppy and the upper body, frankly, is not doing anything. It's just chilling out. So it's kind of the waist down doing all the work, and it's all in this hip flexor and holding the core under good control. Hold the pelvis, try and minimise the rocking. Okay. And remember, if you want to, you can bring this opposite leg almost off the floor. So really feel that core kick in. Keep in control of the tummy. The tummy doesn't suddenly pop up towards the ceiling. Okay, you've got that contraction. You've got that gap under the back. And if you'd like to, get that leg up to join the other one. So again, we've got one going round, trying to stop this movement. Trying to stop this side-to-side rocking. If you want to, you can have the arms up. And try and make it smooth. It's actually really difficult. Try and do a smooth stirring of the porridge. I do like porridge. My favourite breakfast. Do you recommend it? If you want any porridge recipes, drop me a line. I'll have a bit of porridge. Wonderful. Feeling that, working that hip flexor hard, working the core hard, controlling all this movement. come down. Let's let that hip flex have a little stretch. Bring it in. Nice. Okay. So from here we're going to roll over onto our side. Now this is the bit, if you want to, I'd quite like using a head cushion here. Okay, we're going to do the clown. You can, if you prefer to be resting on your arms, I just prefer this kind of lying on the side position. Okay, so this is the one where you're almost falling off a chair from the side. So if you're looking at the side, hips are stacked, knees are stacked, ankles are stacked. The spine is still long, the shoulder blades are still drawn down. I'm going to ease that top hip away, which gives me a gap underneath my waist. Okay, so as though you can pop a straw underneath, just push that top hip gently away, and that will straighten out your spine so it's not got this kind of sag in the middle. So from here, when you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, we're doing the clamp, so I'm going to take the knees apart and ease them back together. So squeeze and release, and I'm working this outer part of the thigh, the abductors, muscles that open that kind of distance between the legs. And it's not a big move, I'm not getting masses of distance here because I'm thinking about keeping that top hip pushed away, so I'm keeping that gap under the waist, and I'm also thinking about maintaining the alignment of the hips up towards the ceiling. Avoid temptation to rock, okay, because that's a completely different thing going on. That stops working that abductor muscle in the way that you're aiming to get it to work. So just squeeze and release, and even this small controlled move I can really feel. Okay, and if you'd like to take this up a notch, you're feeling comfy, you can take both ankles up so they're just floating gently above the floor. And it's that squeeze and release, squeeze and release. So if you'd like to time it with your breathing, just breathe out and in. And maybe that will just slow you down. I know when I've just thought about doing it with my breathing, that's calmed this move down, it slowed it right down. But this is at your pace. And if this is working for you, you'd like to take this up a notch a little bit. Take it up, extend, bring it in and down. So breathe out and in and out and in. Okay, so you're working that abductor, you're lengthening the lever makes it harder. You're holding the position up for longer, that also makes it harder. Really feeling out part this leg. Okay, keeping top hip pushed away, keeping those hips in line. So if you want to, if it works for your shoulder and your arm, you can tuck your arm behind just to hold that position. So you have that little bit of feedback on your back, feedback underneath your waist. You might want to do it this side. Just to remind you, just a couple more. I don't know about you, I'll be done after a couple more. And last one. Oh, release, relax, give it up, give it back. Relax it in front, okay. Get that blood flowing. Okay, and really, it's this area here. That's where it's done the good stuff. Awesome. Right, going back to this kind of sideline position. We're going to do some arm opening. I love arm opening. I hope you enjoy it too. And I've still got my slightly funny shoulder at the moment, so I'm hoping it's just going to do the trick for me tonight. So again, push that top hip away, breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, float the arm up. Now, I think I've said before, I quite like to time this. You breathe out on the way up, in on the way down. And you're trying and aiming to maintain the hips being stacked. Okay, just relax that lower part of the body. I just found myself really tensing the lower part of the body, I don't know why. Just relax. Relax. Shoulder blades still drawn down the back. So you're seeing how far you can take that top arm over. See how far you can draw that top shoulder blade and the shoulder down towards the floor. So it's that twisting of the thoracic spine, so that spine which forms kind of the back of the rib cage. The thoracic spine. Where we're going for a full and wide breathing. And again, go at your pace, and by all means, and I say this every time because I really genuinely mean it, if you want to hold it, just enjoy that stretch. I think this next one, when I get over, I'm just going to hold it open for a few seconds. Just really enjoy it. So I'm watching as well my fingertips, and by watching, it means that I'm taking my head over, and that kind of helps me open out at the chest a bit better and draw the shoulder blade back. Just relax the lower body, and as you hold, if you're holding, you might just feel you can ease into the position just a smidge more, keeping the hips stacked, but easing back. And when you're ready, and if you're ready, you can come back to the movement. Oh, so good, isn't it? So good, arm opening. Love it. Love it. It is so good. But if this does feel uncomfortable, if you don't want to go all the way over, if you do have a little shoulder injury, a little niggle, you don't have to go all the way. You may find for you that you just want to go maybe halfway, maybe up to the top. Maybe you want to go up to the top, maybe sweep it back round. Maybe that feels quite nice. Just have a play. If this doesn't feel great for you, have a play. I mean, if upper body really doesn't work for you, by all means, crack on with that climb. You could be at it all day. That'd be good. Alright, just finishing this one off. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So good, isn't it? So good. Right, that was the calm before the storm. We've got some leg pull prone. Let's roll over onto our front. Okay, I'm going to start you off and set you up from the all fours position. So we've rolled over, I'll get rid of that so I don't whack it or headbutt it. And we're going to come into this all fours position. So hands underneath the shoulders. So this, to all intents and purposes, kind of goes into the plank position and then a little bit of movement from the plank position. But I want to set you up really, really nicely and well. Okay, so in the all fours, I'm not going to worry too much about the legs because they're going to move anyway. But let's get that back in the right position. So maybe a few rounds of cat and cow. Or maybe you just want to focus on that lower pelvis area. So getting the lower back into position. Or maybe you do want to do the full cat and cow. Just working it through, getting a little bit of movement. Okay, before we find our neutral. So neutral here. Okay, we've again pulling up through the top of the head, pulling down to the bottom of the tailbone. You've got a nice long spine, small curve at the lower part of the back. Hands underneath the shoulders. So the wrists are underneath the shoulders, and imagine you're screwing those hands in so the inner crease of my elbows is pointing above my head. The shoulder blades are flat along the top of my back, so they're not arching up, they're nice and flat and drawn in. Okay, so leg ball prone, I'll give you a couple of options. If you wish to, and this feels good for you, you can go slide the legs back into like half plank really, or 3/4 plank. So you go down to the knees. The core is engaged. You've got this long and strong position. And if you wish to, you can just go up, up, and down, and down. That's an option. You may stay in static position. You may want to just go up, up, down, and down. And changing sides. So up, up, down, and down. Okay. If you wish to join me in the kind of full position, you're going to pop up. Still got that core control, still got a neutral spine. The shoulders are down. So if you had a broomstick now, I could go down the back of my head, in between my shoulder blades, kind of hit my bum, calves, and ankles. So when you're ready, if you want to, you just do a raise and lower. So I'm engaging the glute 3 times to extend release. 3 times on the other side. And when you are done, if you wish to join me, we're going to pop up into a down dog. So getting a lovely stretch, so just getting the feet about hip distance apart, pushing the shoulders down towards the calves, hips go up nice and high. Getting a stretch all the way down the back. So down through the shoulders and down through hamstrings, down the back of the legs. And if you want to, you can also walk the dog. So I'm going to let you choose how you go back through this, whether you go down to that kind of half plank, 3/4 plank, or whether you come back with me, join into this full leg pull press. I'm drawing the shoulder blades back into position before I do any moving. And it's up, 2, 3, switch sides. Up, 2, 3. Let's pop those hips back up, back into down dog. And I sometimes quite like to move my feet in a little bit more, so I get more of a V shape through the body. If you need to, you can just gently ease, soften at the knees, just release that tension in the hamstrings if you'd like to. Pushing the chest down, pushing the inside of the shoulders down towards the ankles, towards the shins. It's a long, nice long position. When you're ready, we're going to do 2 more sets through. So you might want to sit one out. You might want to keep going. Still got those shoulder blades drawn down the back, screwing those shoulder blades into around the shoulders, easing them down the back, back into down dog. Again, if you want to walk the dog, that feels ever so nice. I really like doing that actually. It feels ever so nice. Okay, this is the last one, so choose your weapon. So you might be down here. Okay, I'm just doing up, down, down. Or you can join with me. 1, 2. It's not going up super far, so I'm not really making the hips tilt side to side. One last time, stretching up. Nice, long and strong. Awesome, coming down. Oh, nice. We're going to go, I'm going to have a drink actually. Maybe nice thing to drink. By all means, grab one. I'm a bit thirsty after that one. Excuse me, it does happen. Right, so back onto all fours. Maybe some thread the needle. You've had the pain here for pleasure, right? So back into that lovely all fours position. Still with that neutral curve in the spine, and when you're ready, we're just going to thread it through. And bring it up. We're going to do 3 on each side. So you're taking the hand underneath, kind of past the other arm, allowing the shoulder and head, side of the head to come onto the floor, and then opening it back up. And this is another one of these moves, right? If you want to just hold one end of the move, maybe you like this position, just easing that shoulder down. Maybe you like to hold it open. By all means, have a static stretch here. I'm going to keep going with the movement this time, because I quite like the feel of how this movement flows. But we'll do 3 each side. Lovely. And switch sides. So just recheck your neutral. Really get that twist. So you're aiming to twist the chest in one direction on the way down, and it's almost doing 180 degrees on the way up. Getting that lovely rotation through the spine. Oh, I've lost count. I don't know if I've done 3 or 4. Just change. I have to admit, on these videos, counting is never my forte, is it? But I get too chatty. That's too chatty. Right. There we go. Open up. And the other side. Really working through to both end points of the movement. So it's that lovely twist. Ooh. And switch sides. Well, I did want to say actually, thank you so much. I get some really lovely messages each week from a variety of people. Some of you I know quite well, some of you I really don't know at all. And it's just so lovely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, just resting it there. Yeah, it really genuinely makes my day. So thank you. If you send me a message or anything like that, I love to hear from you. Right, we're going to do the other side, that palm and the arm out thing. Now this one I'm aware I will probably hit my cupboard, so I will shimmy myself a little bit further forward. Yeah, it's absolutely a delight getting those messages. They really do add a little sparkle to the day. It's lovely. So in this 90 degrees position again, falling off a chair, 90 degrees at the hips, knees, and the ankles are stacked. Push those top hips away when you're ready. Breathe in, switch on the core, the shoulder blades are still drawn down. And when you're ready, breathe out. Squeeze it open, release. Fantastic. So it's that outer part of the thigh you're really working, the hips are still stacked. You've still got that gap under the waist, that little straw I want to poke under your waist. So easing that top hip away. And we did have those nice options, didn't we? Remember? So if you'd like to, you can join with me, lift the ankles just an inch or two. And then it goes up and down. I always find, I don't know if you find this in a Pilates workout, but this is the bit where I just kind of internalise almost. You know where your body's worked hard, you know that you're near coming towards the ending, coming towards a stretch and a relaxation. Not there yet though, keep going. You want to extend. You're starting just to really genuinely kind of relax and chill out. And you can really think about your body. So think, well, what can I actually feel here? What am I visualising? So here, imagine opening, stretching away, still keeping things nice and floppy. We're not kind of pointing at the leg or flexing particularly. Just a couple more. And relax it there. Give it a rub, give it a pat, maybe let it come in front, just have a rest. Awesome. Right, coming back here, we've got that arm opening. Yes. Okay, the arm opening. Fantastic. Right. Starting at a neutral position again, draw that top hip away, shoulder blades relax down. When you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core. As you breathe out, just really feel that movement. Oh yeah, that's good, isn't it? And it's your pace. I encourage you to feel this. Can you reach a little bit higher, a little bit further? Can you get that shoulder further back? Can you watch your hand all the way? Are you comfortable in your neck? Are you comfortable in your shoulder? Are you comfortable in that stretch across your chest? Can you keep your hips really beautifully stacked? And it's a big stretch, but it's really nice. Really nice. And I suspect if you've not been managing to keep up with your normal routine, your normal exercise or your normal stretching, this might be when you really notice the difference from doing just opening out the shoulder, opening out the chest. Maybe this is where you can really relieve some stiffness, if you've been getting stiff in the upper body. If you found yourself hunched a lot, if you found your shoulders by your ears, just relax it all down. Relax the shoulder blades down the back. Open out that chest. Open out the shoulder. This one I'm going to hold open. And as I hold it open, just slowly, slowly, see if you can ease 1 or 2 millimeters, 1 or 2 more degrees through the rotation. Fantastic. Just go back to the movement if you'd like to. Do a couple more. And last one. And relax it there. Okay, I'm just going to bring you up to a sitting position. We've got one more exercise, and it's kind of a stretch. It's not one we do very often, but I'd like to take you through it. So it's called a spine stretch forwards. So if you can, hold a really nice spine position by sitting on the floor. Even if you need your knees bent, that's fine. If you can hold them up straight, all for the good. If you find it difficult to hold that position, get your cushion, get your block, pop it under your hips. And that might just allow you to get that position where the pelvis is in a real nice alignment so you can get a neutral back. So whichever choice you have done, if you've got your hips gently raised or your hips flat on the floor, I just want you to have your feet slightly wider than shoulder distance apart. So they're a little bit wider than you would normally be. Sitting up nice and tall, so you're drawing up through the spine, lengthening through the spine. Again, sitting on the block might help if you struggle with that. Lengthening through the spine. You can either have the knees bent or straight. I'm not going to get too excited. But what I want you to do is reach in front, either in front of your shoulders or reaching on the floor. And from here, tilt the chin and just peel the spine down so that you're reaching forward but leading with the top of your head. So it's not kind of allowing all that flexion at the hips. I want the spine to be working here. And it's just to tilt down and draw it forwards. And let's hold this one. So you can either be straight or you can have this a little bit bent. If that helps, you might be on that cushion, I don't mind. But you're bringing the spine up. Now, top tip, if you're near a wall or a chair leg or something like that, you can actually start it leaning against so that you can genuinely feel that stretching forwards, which is related to what I was talking about in the warm-up. So from here, tilt the chin, and I'm actually genuinely peeling the spine away from the wall as I'm stretching forwards, and genuinely I can feel my spine going back up. Now the benefit of this one, you shouldn't fall on your face. If you do, you're very flexible. I certainly couldn't. So it's just a bit of a top tip that maybe one you could try later. But instead of focusing on bending at the hips, I'm really focusing on that sensation of stretching. So you might be trailing your fingers along the floor and trying to draw the top of the head forwards. I don't want to do too many of these. I just wanted to give you this as a slightly different one today. I have a rather convenient wall here, so that's good. I'm sure most of you have a wall if you look hard enough. But you can do without. Okay, so just one more without. There's that reach. Oh, a bit of a different one there, lovely. Very good. Right, let's stretch out. Let's stretch out. You've worked hard, you always work hard. I'm so proud. You do such a good job. Awesome. Start with the chest. So squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest at the front, looking up Now what you can't see that is rather fabulous, I have a skylight in my gym. It's my pride and joy, this room. And it's got Olaf on it, and it's brilliant. One day I'll have to show you, it's brilliant. So whenever I get to look up at the ceiling, it's a bit like when you're in the dentist and you have a good picture. So I've got a picture of Olaf from Frozen, it's very good. Oh, and relax that there. Awesome, I'm going to come back over onto all fours. Just do a couple of rounds of cat and cow. I do enjoy a cat and cow. So let the tummy drop down, head pops up, and then draw middle of the back, the shoulder blades up. Let the head drop down. So you're going through those two positions. There we go. Oh. Okay, and from here we're going to do a hip flexor stretch. We don't do this often enough because it is awesome. Right, I want you to take one leg forwards. So remember that lunge position you had, I want the leg to be a little bit further forwards so that actually I can push that hip forwards and down. I'm stretching all through this hip flexor. Okay, so you might find that this position works really nicely for you. You might like to add a twist. Let me show you, it's a bit tricky because we're going to face that way. Take that top shoulder towards the opposite knee, so you're facing round. So I appreciate I'm not looking at you, apologies. Such is life sometimes. So that's an option with a twist. You can keep it pointing forwards or you can keep the twist in. And come back to the middle, relax, release. We're going to do the hamstring. Oh my goodness, this is a good one. Right, push your hips down and back. Straighten out the front leg, lift up the toes. Okay, if it's comfy, and you can put the hands on the floor in front, you can hold on towards where the toes are. You might be holding on towards the leg. Don't put the pressure onto the knee joint. Probably not so nice. But straightening and pushing the chest towards the knee, pushing the hips back and down. Getting that lovely stretch of the hamstring, the back of the top of the leg. Awesome. Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? That's a good one. Right, release, relax. Take that knee back. We're going to do the same thing on the other side for that hip flexor stretch. And then I'll be twisting towards you and that'll all be good. So remember, it's kind of an overstepping. So I've gone past the 90 degrees in the back leg. I'm just extending, pushing the hips forwards and down. And if you wish to, you can add the twist in. So I quite like to use my hand just to ease. You can do it that way. You can use the back of the hand, but just opening the chest round so you get a nice twist as well. Lovely. Feels really nice. But getting that hip flexor stretch first. Fantastic, and release it there, come back to the middle. Ease the hips backwards, straighten the front leg, bring up the toes. Again, just easing that chest through a straight spine. I like to do it with a reasonably straight spine. Easing the chest forwards down towards the toes. You can hang on to the foot if you can reach, or hang on to the leg, hang on to the floor. But you're getting that lovely stretch down here. Okay, taking that leg back, tuck the toes, straightening slowly out through the legs and rolling up through the spine. We're going to have a little stretch at the back just to finish out. So imagine you are hugging a lovely big tree. You're bringing those shoulder blades wide and apart, let the head drop down. So you've got almost, well, a tree, beach ball, anything nice and big and round, whatever you like. Just pulling those shoulder blades apart, stretching out through the top of the back, head is dropped down towards the floor. Lovely, and release it there. We're going to have a couple of nice big breaths. And relax. Awesome. Great work, guys. It looks like I've overrun, sorry. But I hope you really enjoyed it. Fantastic to have you with me again. I can't wait to see you again next week. It has been a pleasure as always. Have a fantastic week. And if you ever need to, come back to this hour. Just have that hour of calm back for yourself. All right. And I will see you again at this time next week. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.